Welcome to Witch to Take, Office of Fortune Teller, Shaman, Folk Artist with Cristina Lisa, and a reading from the Living Altar, an oracle and spell deck for the radical witch. Peace, you may call us River and develop with us witch virtues of courage, honor, integrity, truth, and wisdom. This reading is for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, emotions, spirit, and intuition, and at the least, we hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, we hope to assist you on your healing path. We are not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. Our readings are no substitute for theirs, so thank you for using your gift of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away, adopting as your own, and also contacting relevant professionals as needed. If you are in need of a doctor, lawyer, therapist, call them instead of relying on this reading. You get the drift. So we have been inspired by this deck created by Kiki Robinson and Ilva Droma Marzana Radzesuski, the Living Altar, an oracle and spell deck for the radical witch, and also this practical guide for witches, spells, rituals, and magic for an enchanted life by Ilva as well. And in this session, we are covering a sensitive topic about adoptees, literal and figurative adoptees, orphans, gypsies, and if you're here, odds are you may relate. And everyone is a different psychosociology experiment. What resonates for one may not for another. So again, thank you for using your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away, adopting as your own. And there is this phenomena that we have come across in our practice and study about the adoptee, and it really jumped out at us on page 157 of this book, Blessing for Animal Companions. And it spoke about this adoptee, the animal companion adoptee. They sacrifice so much to teach us and tend to us. And that reminded us so much of the human orphan who gets adopted, how much they sacrifice to tend to and teach the families which they left, which they were relinquished from, as well as the families and communities they were adopted into. And we hope to honor all involved. And there is this piece about the animal companion that makes it very apparent how the adoptee, the human adoptee, makes the sacrifice as well. And perhaps as a newborn or a baby or a toddler or a child or a teen adopted, they were not aware of that sacrifice, the teaching, the tending to that they signed up for. And some of us have danced away because it was too much to bear. And this situation where we were expected to teach and tend to, making a sacrifice of our own free will, of our own needs, to tend to those that relinquished us by honoring the fact that they lacked the capacity to raise us, whether they were too young or their families didn't agree and cast them out. So many different reasons why babies, toddlers, children, teenagers are relinquished. And then adopted into families that are looking to soothe their soul, to feel improved about themselves and life, to often doctors prescribe adoption, right? To feel improved about self through life. And in some situations, those doing the adopting, those doing the relinquishing, lack the opportunity or the willpower to heal themselves. And so their adopted animal, person, place, thing ends up making the sacrifice. And the times when it's too much to bear and we need to dance away because we are getting kicked like the dog, scapegoated, whipped like the post. And some of us have been on both sides of that fence. And so no shame, no blame. We just want to understand how to move through this with mercy and grace. If we're still in contact with our families, if we have needed to dance away from our families to maintain our safety and our integrity, whichever way, we hope this reading may assist you and your families, honoring that they have loss as well, that they have not been able to heal. And pardon me, it's such a sensitive topic. You rarely hear people talk about it. The fact that, pardon me, you hear my Visuddha, my throat chakra, is overcoming this block where we haven't been able to talk about it. And perhaps you're in the same boat. And so the first card that came up is one of the beautiful spell cards. And I'll just let you check that out for a moment while I share a little more about it. And that is some tourmaline from Maine and some Bedouin beads holding that up. And pardon me, this particular spell card represents fire. And so perhaps that element of fire that we see in the sun, our source energy, the fire inside our yellow belly, our manipura, that jewel helps us cosmic compost what we cannot support. It's enough to try to heal our own loss, our own relinquishment. And then again, when we are adopted and we are in a position where, wow, that got swept under the carpet and now we are the emotional support pet for another family and tending to their needs, sacrificing our own life to help improve theirs, and without having had the opportunity to heal our own loss. It's becoming more known that getting adopted, the love of another family, doesn't heal the wound. Doing the healing work tends to the wound. And it's a lifelong sentence, as many of us know, and many have decided to take their own life because it was too much to bear. And God bless it and us all, however you call God. And so we are holding you in our hearts, helping you hold your space, your safe space to do your work. And when your families project their work onto you, perhaps this fire element helps. And you may visualize a bonfire and putting logs on the bonfire, and perhaps those times when you feel your family members projecting their loss onto you, taking their grief out on you, scapegoating you, you can imagine that is a log that you put on a proverbial fire. And of course, we're not saying to burn down the house, right? We don't want to hurt anyone. We are thanking God for helping us all. We have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear. We have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, thanks God for helping us all. Romans 8:15, you may consider how to express that in your culture. And so honoring that, we don't want to blame and shame our families who are projecting their loss onto us, handing us their bags to deal with because they lack the capacity. The loss is so much, and they are at that place in their journey where they are unable to pick up their own bags and to heal. And so how to manage that. And some of us, like we mentioned, dance away to prevent ourselves from mirroring the madness and lashing out and burning down the house. We don't want to do that. We want to offer everybody a safe space in which to heal. And so that fire visualization, visualizing the bonfire and each loss, whether it's family scapegoating, different members of family scapegoating, taking out their grief, blaming, shaming, trashing, discarding, you again. Each incident you can imagine is a log, and putting it on a fire to burn with your spirit team, with your source, with your higher self, and let it cosmic compost back into beauty. And maybe you go as far as to actually have a bonfire or a campfire in a safe place and use actual wood and practice that exercise in that way. And again, we are hoping to cause harm to none. We are thanking God for helping us all, and we are looking for ways to help manage that grief that is a lifelong sentence, because that the fact that we were discarded is for life. That doesn't change. And the fact that perhaps the families that adopted us in discarded us, and then we discarded them and danced away, that may not heal as well. And so to honor that, to honor everybody's process, and also to keep ourselves safe and to take responsibility for our loss, that fire element may assist us. And then the second card that came up was abundance. And so let's see what abundance has to say for us that may help us with this conundrum that may be so challenging for so many of us. So the witch's wheel correspondence with this card is water, autumn, west, sunset, adult, disseminating moon, expression, counsel, ancestor, and initiation. And so those witch's wheel correspondence, perhaps some of those assist you, like maybe you decide you're going to put it into expression and you create some artistic pieces each time that you are picking up on others projecting their grief onto you, or that you're feeling your own. And then also honoring that you are part of a council, you are being initiated, your ancestors are around you, ancestors who have been through similar situations on both sides of the fence, and that you are some of the select few to help ground in a new earth, in grounded in unarmed truths and elevated by unconditional love. You are helping usher in a new consciousness of adoption, where adoption serves more as an equitable social contract between two entities rather than a one-sided prescription to feel improved about self through life. And so beautiful, so strong. Thank you for being so strong to carry on and to do the work. And for those who have taken their own life because it was too much to bear, we thank you too for being so strong, and we love you from here and are thankful for the work you did while you were here. And thank you for being part of our circle as we do this work, being part of our spirit team to help us do this work. And the spell that goes with this abundance card: alignment with my passions and refining their expression through my work is a truer measure of my worth than anything else I have known. I claim myself in sovereignty. I am an embodiment of riches. I arrive easily to my offerings of self-love. I am nourished deeply in the effortless harvest of the sweetness of engagement. As I untangle myself from a past within which I will no longer flourish, I become magnetic and lean into an easy sense of wonder, meaning, and purpose. I trust myself to act responsibly and take accountability in the face of blessings and challenges in equal measure. May I choose to harvest joy. And thank you so much for that spell. So beautiful. Claiming myself in sovereignty, no longer serving as an emotional support pet for anyone, and honoring others as well, and untangling ourselves from the past in which we no longer flourish, moving from a low to high state of adoption, and leaning into our joy, harvesting our joy, practicing our self-expression, aligning our passions, refining their expression. So beautiful. Thank you for that spell. And the guiding messages: gather to you sweet and nourishing things. Draw the strength you need to continue onwards. There has been much work done and even more to come. We are in it. We signed up to do this time around, and we have just begun a new 6,000-year cycle on Friday, February 20th, as Saturn and Neptune moved into a world point at 0 degrees of Aries, allowing us to begin again, to shift from that low to high state of adoption, to begin to think about shifting if we haven't done it already, or just to really commit to this new life. And today is the 22nd. It's the 222 portal, another 222 portal, and a gateway. And we are thrilled to be stepping through this portal with you. ushering in a new consciousness of adoption with you. So thrilling, so grateful. And so this last card is another spell card that came up, and it appears to be rebirth. Oh, so beautiful. And rebirth, we have an opportunity to rebirth ourselves and to be very conscious about how we do that, doing it in a safe way, right? We don't want to hurt ourselves anymore or anyone else, and forgiving ourselves for those times where perhaps we mirrored the madness. Perhaps we took our grief out on our animal that we adopted or our person that we adopted, not knowing that we were mimicking our own cutoff, and to forgive the others who perhaps are in parallel positions, not realizing they're mimicking their own cutoff so much as their loss and grief, and they haven't figured out a way yet to take responsibility for that. And so now we have a chance to rebirth ourselves. And maybe you lean into this around the time that you landed on this planet, honoring that day in a whole new way. I understand that this is a very sensitive time for adoptees. I no longer celebrate that day. I choose to honor it in a different way. Pardon me. And so perhaps this is something that you plan for that day that you landed on this planet, or maybe it's over a special season for you or a special day for you. Maybe it's even tonight and today, this morning, whenever you are seeing this session. And maybe you take time to plan it and imagining that you can mother, father yourself. And so what would you do to prepare for your birth? And how would you honor yourself in a way that no one else could? Do you prepare your room? Do you redecorate your room in which you live, or the space in which you throw down? Do you paint the walls? Purchase special gifts for yourself, whether it's bedding, pillows, tapestries, bits and pieces for your altar that you procure to honor this rebirth, and how strong you are to have signed up to come here this time around to do this work, to usher in a new consciousness of adoption. And you may tap into healers in your neck of the woods who specialize in rebirthing ceremonies, or maybe you do research yourself to figure out what resonates with you and how you might want to proceed. And maybe you take the whole year or the rest of this decade to rebirth yourself, honoring those milestones of rebirth and what comes after that, and the pre-birth and the build-up to being born again, and all the different ways that you can honor yourself, to honor your strength, and to baby yourself, to nurture yourself so tenderly, so sweetly. And perhaps that gives you the strength, extra courage and strength to do the work, to take responsibility for your loss, to transmute, to work the cosmic law of transmutation of energies when others are projecting their loss onto you, when others are handing you their bags of loss, expecting you to deal with it, when others are scapegoating you, taking their grief out on you, unable to manage their own loss. And thank you for taking sweet care of yourself, for steering clear of danger, for playing with yourself, your cards. We are so in awe of you. We hope this helps a little. Ciao for now. We love you all.